7 o'clock. I'm calling this meeting to order.
That's not what that says.
You still got 2 minutes.
Meeting has been called to order. Call the roll, please.
Keith Allgood. Donna Boggs.
Here.
Tony Campbell.
Here.
Gary Corlew.
Here.
Tom Cullen.
Here.
Tony Gross.
Here.
Leanne Ferguson. Mike Patnode. Chuck Slater.
Here.
Non-voting Sharon Armstrong.
Here.
John Lawless, that's me. Jennifer Nutt.
Here.
Okay, I'm gonna declare that we have a quorum. The minutes of the May 11, 2017 meeting have been circulated. Do we have any additions or corrections to those minutes?
I move that the minutes be approved as circulated.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Special called meeting of May 22nd, those minutes have been circulated. Do we have any corrections or additions?
I move that the minutes from the May 22nd meeting be approved as circulated.
We have a second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We have an agenda before us. Are there any additions to the agenda? Hearing none.
I move for approval of the agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, the first item on the agenda is the site plan submission of Golf Club of Tennessee Pavilion and Performance Building, map 99, parcel 66.00. Sharon? Are they gonna make the presentation? Okay, go ahead.
I think Jeff's just here to answer questions if you have any.
Go ahead.
I'm just here to answer any questions.
Oh, are there any questions?
I did review all the plans. I did a flood review. I also did a head check on the drainage calculations for the golf club. Neither one of the proposed structures lies in the flood area, but I wanted to make sure there would not be any runoff that would contribute to flooding in the future. I have done a site plan review as well, the grading plan review, and a construction plan review, so everything met all of your regulations.
Do we get tickets to the performance building?
If you want to, I'm sure we can manage.
I'm just kidding.
Like that, just kidding.
Any questions from the commission?
I would say, anytime that any of the commissioners would like to come out and see what the golf club is doing, I know we can have you out at the campus.
You used to go out there with, what, Toby Whip? Toby Whip, and is he still associated?
He is.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
You just dated yourself.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve this site plan submission?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. You can't beat that.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
You might be able to catch the game still.
Like I am operating tonight. Wow.
All right, next is, for discussion only, PUD overlay discussion from city planner Sharon Armstrong. I'm sure knowing Sharon, it won't take over 3 or 4 minutes.
It won't.
You don't have an agenda tonight, do
Short
you?
session, but however, I do need to back up and apologize. We had the Patnode minor plat revision last month that we deferred to this month, pending signatures. They have been secured. So, the holdup was the environmental signature. We got that from the State Environmental Office. This has been submitted to you before. I believe Mr. McCain did not have time to do anything but get the original Mylar. Would anyone like to see it? I have reviewed the plat.
There's no
It's
change in
entirely-
it, it's just
And it does
signature.
meet all of your regulations. So if we could hopefully consider that under other, can we get to that point?
All right,
On the RPUD overlay district, I'm still in the process of identifying parcels that are appropriate for that type of development. What I want to determine for you and bring a list to you along with a live map that you can look at
thank you, folks.
are the areas of development that have potential for PUD application, either a residential PUD or a commercial PUD or a mixture of the two, which is something that you don't currently have. You have our PUD as a separate entity, you have commercial PUD as an entity, but you don't have a blended PUD. We're finding that those work really well where you have somewhat compact areas for development. As an example, in Ashland City where Vantage Point is, the retirement community and the elder care community and the apartment building lie almost to the rear, but in the front of it, they reserve space for commercial development, which is particularly important along your corridors.
Yeah.
So I'm still in the process of identifying those as soon as I do, and I'll also bring you a draft to look at for a mixed PUD overlay. And Tennessee has heard this in litigation at the appellate level and determined that you have the authority to predetermine areas within your communities that are appropriate to assign that PUD overlay to. It does not have to come at the request of the developer, and you don't have to wait until a project's submitted. So that's the approach I would like to take with the planning commission's permission.
Any questions, answers, discussion?
Question, what about this property that, is up at the top of the hill that Carl Francis is going to develop, or is developing, or whatever it is?
We have
Is that
most of-
appropriate, is appropriate for that property?
It absolutely would be, because my understanding is that the proposal would include both commercial and residential, and that there would be a shared sort of access through the property. That becomes really complicated under Tennessee law when you go through a property in order to access a rear property. So it's this type of design that PUDs are designed for, specifically.
The McPherson property be a similar
Absolutely.
property to that type of.
Absolutely.
I have a question about that at the appropriate time.
Brief update on that is we have a draft letter prepared. There were 14 separate violations under TDAC regulations and your own ordinances. That letter should go out relatively soon. You have different cures for those violations in different areas. Your city charter has a cure, your zoning ordinance has a cure, and your subdivision regulations have a cure. So it can be approached from all those levels. in order to-
You're aware he has it for sale.
Pardon?
You're
He's
aware
got it
it's for sale. So I would assume that he's not gonna be able to sell it if he's,
Right now, he's outside of compliance with both the SWIP plan, the stormwater prevention, pollution prevention plan, and he's also outside the confines of his permit, his NPDES. There's no soil and erosion control in the property that I can determine, and there's a great deal of leaching from the deposited fill into the water stream at the rear of the property. So both of those violations have been reported to TDAC. TDAC
he also
inspection
has
will
an
be out
issue
next week.
with the adjacent landowner in that they have a easement in there that he's blocked.
Yes.
But
That's
I
the
just
update.
hope that between you and Jennifer, you'll stay on top of that, because he's the kind that's gonna slip and slide.
Will those things be a deterrent for the sale? Will all that have to be brought to?
He should disclose it to any purchaser, and whether or not he
But
does that.
regardless, that will still have to be
Absolutely.
corrected,
Mhm.
and it goes with the sale of the property, I guess is
We
my
had a
question.
similar issue on the Luna property in the county several years ago. And TDAC had notices of violation, and the county had notices of violation on the property when it was placed for sale. It actually prohibited the sale. No one was willing to take on those particular environmental issues. And there was another one on Highway 12. I don't remember the map and parcel, but it was one of the John Rankin developments, and it transferred with the issues
That was
on
my
it.
only concern, if that goes with, regardless of whether they disclose it or not, then
Notices of violation are similar to zoning in the respect that they travel
They follow
with
the
the
property.
land.
Mhm.
That's correct.
Very good. Thank you. All right, other,
Under other, Mr. McCain has submitted on Mr. Patnode's behalf the signature copy of the plat. I reviewed the plat previous to the signatures. All the signatures are in place. It does meet your subdivision development requirements. It is not a platting of property, it's a revision of an
Okay.
existing plat. They're moving a property line. My understanding is Mr. Patnode wishes to deed the house to his daughter, but he didn't want to give her the shed that he owns. So they adjusted the property line to accommodate that, which brought on a number of new requirements from TDAC for staking out secondary septic fields, which was done and accomplished, everything signed and taken care of. So we're good
Jennifer,
to
do
go on
we
that.
have the ability to approve
It's
this?
not on the agenda, that's what I was looking at, was the
We almost should
minutes.
have added that at the beginning.
Well, we deferred
we
it
didn't.
from last month.
That's what I was looking at, the last minutes said.
Calm down, Gary.
It was at the May 11th, right?
It says it was withdrawn due to missing signatures on the plat.
It says it was postponed, right?
But it didn't say.
But I think we're good to go with this, it's legally advertised twice.
I think the fact that the minutes reflect that it was postponed, you know, if y'all, if we had a duly noted motion, you would probably be okay. If it was just taken off the agenda and not postponed, then it would need to be redone.
What you're saying is we need a motion to place it before us now? Do we have such a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Or
Second.
Thank you. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, it's back on the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
motion to approve, or second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Is there anything else to come before this, Gus Bollinger, before Gary breaks for the door?
He's got his keys out.
I know, I've seen him sitting there jerking. We're adjourned.
Stop ya. Can't get past it.
We're adjourned.